Hi everybody, my name is Catherine. I'm also a fourth year honours student here at the Conservatorium studying the effects of music therapy for students with special needs in the school setting. It's a bit of a mouthful. I'm here to introduce Dr. Dianne Langan. She's been in music therapy and music education for over 30 years, in preschools, special education, government and independent schools, and also at a tertiary level. She actually started the music therapy course at UTS as well. So today she's talking about the influence of music therapy in her teaching. So thank you very much for coming, Dr. Dianne Langan.
Thank you. Okay, so thanks for this opportunity. So music therapy. So I've worked in both areas for quite a long time, and of course they influence each other. So I'm going to start with the music therapy. I'm going to show you about 2 minutes of music therapy. So it's going to walk us through a few different strategies that I use in a music therapy setting. It's a very sort of directed educational end example of music therapy. I'm in a classroom with teachers at the back, and I've got kids with behaviour issues and management issues. So I want to keep fairly tight rein on it. So I've got a little conducting exercise that is the exercise that I'm going to show us that I've taken into my classroom. We've got some singing. We see a child right at the end, a little boy, who's singing for the first time using pitch. And over three terms of music therapy every week, and he didn't use pitch at all. And that relates to his condition. Another little child, very fair in the hair, and you see him taking these big breaths, and he's singing. He has profound hearing loss. We see improvisation and a few other bits and pieces. So it's not magic music therapy especially, it's just to show you the range. And also, if you do have this handout that looks a bit like this is a verified music therapy tool, which means that, I'm just doing a bit of an ad here, it means that you can pay music therapists and you can tick all the boxes of compliance, because this assessment tool in its fuller version is linked to current New South Wales Board of Studies education outcomes. So you can have a music therapist in your school if that's what you want. But the point of today is just to tell you how one has influenced the other. So let's move on. So thank you for paying attention to that one, because I can see you were. Now, this is the way I like to explain music therapy. So it's not just the music. It's not just the unique capabilities of music itself. It's not just the fact that the auditory area of the brain is able to survive even global brain damage, and that's how we can work with it. It's not just the fact that music speaks to our emotion. It's not just the fact that we can communicate with people that have no normal structures of language, etc., and the immediacy of music, it can change. It's got to have the therapeutic relationship as well. Now, look at this one. One of these is a music therapy definition and one is a music education. So I think you can probably work out which one's which. I've got the citations at the end, but look how close they are. So they're both talking about emotion, they're both talking about physical, and they're both talking about cognitive and social. Yeah. So what's fascinating. It's Evan Rood that writes extensively on this, and he speaks about music education going towards therapy, but we see it everywhere. It's sort of a bit insidious, and until someone points it out to you, we may not have noticed. So look at our pastoral care programs, look at corporations with their wellness and family life balance, etc. So it's just an interesting aside. Now that little conducting game we saw, if my trusty volunteers are going to leap immediately to their feet. And they weren't prepared earlier, let me tell you. I need four. Four would be great. Okay, thank you so much. So, if you could just grab an instrument, and one person is going to volunteer to be the conductor. So you saw a tiny sense of this in the clip, you might want to make yourself, who's going to be the conductor? Oh, so one person needs to be instrumentalist. Yeah, and it's not a performance, okay? Just ignore it. So make yourselves comfortable. And these are the rules. So there's no right or wrong, total success every time. So your conductor is going to tell you when to start, it's going to tell you when to stop, and they might give you some how on how to play. So in the music, oops, sorry, am I supposed to be on here? In the music therapy setting, I'm doing this, I'm using this because of socialisation. I'm using it for autonomy reasons. I mean, some of these children have very, very limited language, and then they're very restricted in working with other people, etc., etc. But in education, you can take it to a very sophisticated level with seniors. Sorry to have you standing there, is that okay? They're feeling a bit awkward there. Sorry, I've started now. Up at the sophisticated end, I might give senior students a little quote, a little theme, and I might say, okay, I want a homophonic version of this, and now I want a polyphonic version, etc., etc. So middle school, I might say, okay, explain to me in texture, I want you to present some staggered entries. And with the juniors, I might say, okay, we've been doing some dynamics, I want piano, I want triple F, and then I want a D crescendo over 9 beats or something. So very easy to adapt. Off you go. Do your stuff. Just make it happen. It doesn't matter. 40 seconds. How about that? Oh. So much. I think they had actually prepared that earlier, don't you think? Yeah. So we totally had the role of the conductor there, and then we had every concept, didn't we? We had every musical concept going in there, and I don't believe it. I'm ahead of time, and I can keep talking about music therapy a great deal, but I think I will just segue to the ending, and I'd like to leave you here. So I walked into a regional special school, and no piano, but there was a collection of percussion instruments, and I just worked with the students that were in front of me. And just like we have to work in a normal classroom, we often don't have any information about who we've got in front of us. We've just got to work it out. This little particular child, profound hearing loss, and she's working in an improvisation with me on the djembe, and her little face is totally concentrating on me. So the only information really she's getting is visual, because of her cognitive issues. I don't think she even knows that she should attend to the language in her sound world. I don't think she gets it. And I'm going to leave you with this beautiful moment that sometimes happens in therapy and education, and you think, oh, am I getting through? Is this really working? And that was just beautiful. Thank you for listening.